Hey, hi everyone. So I've built like an application kind of similar to Claude Desktop. It's like a chatbot which is an MCP client, so it can connect to any of these MCP servers that are there. You can configure whatever servers you want it to connect to. There are two types of transport in MCP servers. So you can connect to both STDIO and SSE servers. In this example, I have given it two STDIO servers to connect to. So one is, I'm calling it as time MCP, and this is the params that I have given to connect to that time MCP server. It's basically an MCP server to get the current time and convert time zones and all. And then there is this file system MCP, which can access your local directory and make changes to the files, write files, move files, copy files, etc. You need to pass in like allowed directories here. So I've given like a directory for it to play around, so it can do its job only in that directory, and it can't make changes to any other directory. And in the SSE server, I have given it like a Python executor MCP. So this is the URL that the server is actually running on. You'll have to actually start running the server on local if you're giving a localhost URL. I've actually started running the server. In the background, this application is using OpenAI 4o model. So let's start talking to our bot. Let's ask like very simple questions first. Let's ask it about the current time. So you see it's using the get current time tool from time MCP server, and it's passing the arguments. It's getting a response from this tool call from MCP server. This is the final response that our LLM generated. All right, time traveler, it's April 6, 2025 and the clock is ticking at 21:12 in the ever wonderful time zone of Asia, Kolkata. Let me know if you need anything else, maybe a spelling lesson. Maybe that's because I made a spelling mistake and it's being sassy about it. Let's try the classic question about counting hours. So many of these LLMs, they get this wrong. Let's see what this guy does. Oh, okay. So it generated the response as is without using tools, and it in fact generated the correct response, I guess. Yeah, it actually has 5 hours. But we can actually ask it to use Python just to show an example. Now it's running the Python code and it's using this Python executor MCP server here, and it actually wrote this code to get the count of hours. So this is the output that it got. So you can see even here we have written the power of Python confirms its strawberry contains 5 rebellious hours. Great. So we can do something like let's see what it does this time. So it's calling list allowed directories first from this file system MCP. So you see like it's using another MCP server now. It's just using tools irrespective of which MCP server it's coming from. And it got this allowed directory. So this is the one directory that we have given it. And now it's doing create directory. So it's creating a directory. Not sure why it did that. It's giving the exact same path this time. So doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's returned success, and now it's using another tool called write file. It's made a count_r.py file and it's successfully written. Now it's writing another file. This is output.txt, again in the same folder. That is also successfully written. Final response is, there you go, I have penned down the Python code and the illustrious output in 2 separate files faster than you can say strawberry. Basically saying like it generated 2 files. Let me just go and check. So this is the folder that we had given access to, and these are the 2 files we can see which has actually been created, and this is the code that it ran, and this is the output. So yeah, basically you can give any of these MCP servers now in these server configurations, and you can start chatting and get your actions done. You saw it kept calling these tools till we reach this final outcome. It could have also called tools from across server. It's not like it keeps calling tools from one particular server. It can do like one tool call from one server and the second tool call can be from the second server as well. Let's jump into the code now and see how these things work. So mainly there are like 2 files, main.py and MCP client. Main.py, like it's honestly just Streamlit integration. MCP client is the actual main file where all the action is. So this is the actual file where we should spend more time. Before diving into the code at a very broad level, very quickly, you can imagine like every server, every MCP server has two endpoints: list tools and call tool. There are more nuances, but let's just focus on these two endpoints for now. So you have these two API calls to make. What you'll do is you'll from the client you'll make a list tool call to every single MCP server that has been configured, and you'll get a consolidated list of tools that your LLM should have access to. And that consolidated list, you'll send it to every single LLM call that you make to get a response. And if your LLM asks you to make a tool call, then you'll make that tool call through the MCP server again by calling the endpoint. That's the whole idea. It's very simple. Let's see how this is done. We have a ConnectionManager class here, which will manage the MCP server connections. We are maintaining two maps here, stdio server map and sse server map. When we call initialize, we will just loop through all these server name and params. So in the JSON, whatever you saw, this is the JSON that we'll get here. Basically, this name is a user-defined name, what like a temporary name that we are giving to that MCP server. And then these are the params that we'll pass. So for stdio, we'll create an stdio client and we'll initialize the session, and we'll save the session in this self.sessions dictionary. So this sessions will hold all the servers that are running stdio, and similarly we'll connect to SSE as well. So we are using this async exit stack for resource management. Honestly, I referred to the LangChain's adapter. I'll put the links below. Even though official MCP docs and the LangChain MCP adapter was helpful to understand how to write this, so you can also go through it. But basically, initialize means you have this dictionary of sessions now ready, and then in ConnectionManager we have these two functions defined. So list tools will basically loop through all these sessions and call list tools on each of the session. So every single server we'll call list tool API MCP server, and we'll create this tool map dictionary. So tool map is given like a tool name, which server it belongs to, which MCP server it belongs to, and we'll have a consolidated list of tools. Whatever list of tools that we got from every single server, we'll make like a one giant list of tools from it. So tool map holds mapping from tool name to server name, and consolidated tools has all the tools that LLM can access. And then we have like a call tool function here, which given a tool name and arguments, and it takes in tool map as well. So which server through which we want to run the tool. Once we get the server name, we'll call that call tool API for that server's session, right? So this is like we have abstracted call tool and list tools here to like manage multiple servers, and then we have a basic close. So this is like, this ConnectionManager is basically what you need to understand. This is all where all the actual MCP client kind of code lies. And then once this class is done, we have the LLM integration part with the MCP client. We have this chat function here. What chat function will do is it will take list of input messages. Now these are like list of message objects, and then it will also have tool maps, list of tools. This max turn is like how many times it can keep calling a tool. So here in this case, we kept calling tools some n number of times. It can't cross 10 is what we have configured it. So you can set the max number, and then the ConnectionManager. So the way this will work is, once you get the input message, you'll make the LLM call, and you'll send these list of tools here. So this is the consolidated list of tools that we'll get while calling chat function. Every single time we make any LLM call, we'll send the whole list of tools here. So whatever LLM responds with, if it responds with a tool call, but before that we'll start a loop here. We'll only come out of the loop if LLM decides not to make a tool call. So if this is the condition where it decides to make a tool call. If it does not decide to make a tool call, it's basically an assistant message. So basically the final answer, something like this was generated. So this will be returned and we come out of the loop. If it's a tool call, then we get which all tool calls we want to make, the name of the tool and the args with which we want to make the tool call. We get the server name. So this is just a log message that we return. So we keep returning these streaming messages, right? That's why we yield the messages. This is just some cosmetic things, like I've made it markdown so that it looks good on the UI. So you see all these bold tool calls, tool name, and then this comes in a markdown snippet and all. So this logging is just that, nothing else. It's just saying like what all tools are used from which server, with what arguments and what observation we got. But while calling the tool call, we use this connection manager and we call the tool call API. We pass in the tool name, the tool args, and the tool map that we have. So this tool map is just from which server we want to call which tool. That is why the tool map is useful. And once we get the observation, we append this message. If you remember from previous videos how to actually use tool calls in an LLM. Once LLM asks us to make a tool call, we should always append the role tool message to it after this message is given. So once we append, we go back in the loop. We keep looping till all the tools are called. It will keep calling the tools based on this chat message. So everything is appended in the chat message. It has the history here. So next time when it loops, it again gets this chat messages. It knows what all tools were called, and the next response is generated accordingly by the LLM. So which tool to call next, or should it just respond since we have reached like a final outcome, is decided by LLM. So this will go on till max turns, or if we reach a final outcome. Else what I've done is, like, if we hit the max turns, it will generate one final response without the tools. So here we won't give the tools. This is like optional, or you can do however you want to handle this case where we have reached max turns. So it will just see the chat messages till now, and it will generate a response. And since we are not giving any tools here, it will definitely generate like a assistant content message, and that will be returned. So this is the simple chat method that is there. Like, it's basically integrating LLM with your MCP client. Basically this is the most important line, if you want. Like, this is the integrating line, like LLMs with MCP client. And if you notice, like, it's fine, like if we are using 4o, but you can use any other model, any other open source model as well, which supports tool calling. Yeah, so that's about the chat method. We have this filter input schema. Let's come to this after a while. It's a little tricky. I'll tell you what I've done in this, but let's go through the flow. We have almost understood all the parts that we need. So the way we'll run this, right? We have like server parameters that we want our chatbot to connect with. So here, just like Streamlit, I've given like just MCP time MCP server here, and I've given the params for this. And then we have an SSE server that's running. It's exactly similar to Streamlit, the demo that I showed here. It's using a localhost URL here. And then we define a main function which will initialize the connection manager with these server maps that are there. You can define whatever server you want to connect to and send it to the connection manager, and it'll start initializing the server connections. So once it's done, you can call list tools to get tool map and tool objects. So if you check this list tools again, we will get consolidated tools, the list of all the tools that are there, and tool map. So that is what is happening here. We are getting the tool map and the list of all the tools that it has access to. So this is the consolidated list of tools. And now what we'll do is we'll create this tool JSON. We'll create this in the format that we can send it to OpenAI. We'll loop through every single tool object and put it in this format. Now this is where the tricky part is. Maybe some LLMs might want list of tools in some other format, and this is where you will have to make changes if you want to integrate with some other LLM. Since OpenAI requires this type of format, so type function, and within function you have name, description, and then there is a parameter called strict, and then params is the one which requires this input schema. So everything we get from the tool itself, whatever object MCP server returns. But just in the input schema, sometimes it was failing for me. So that's why I just made this simple function. Maybe some servers are still not very well following the specifications. Maybe that's why, or maybe it's just OpenAI making things very strict. I realized like some servers were not giving error while running. So this required parameter was missing the list of required params in the input schema, and then in some cases the default was given, which OpenAI was saying like, hey, I don't take default in my input schema, and then additional properties should have been present at every single place, which was not being sent by these MCP servers. So I'm just handling those cases, making it proper so that OpenAI does not throw errors if we give them the tools. And that's why I'm using this filter input schema here while converting the tool JSON objects that we get from MCP servers. So this is just a list of tools in OpenAI format after getting it from MCP servers. That's what this line does. And once we get these tools, we can send it to an OpenAI request. So this is what we have done here. We have called chat method that we described, and in the list of tools we have given this tools JSON. In the input message we have just created like an example message here. System message is similar, like with a personality and what's the time right now in India. And tool map we have just passed in as is what we got from list tools API through our MCP server abstraction, and we are sending ConnectionManager so that it can actually call the call tool API through this. We keep printing the response here, so you can run this standalone file as well. In fact, let me just run this. I have my Conda environment activated. Great, it starts printing. It looks nicer in Streamlit, but this is what we get under the hood. So it's starting to call tool call with get current time, and the input is Asia Kolkata, so that is the argument. And then we got the tool observation here, and this is the assistant messages that we got. This is how it looks if you run this standalone script. Yeah, so I hope you understood this part. Once you have done this, you can basically connect to any number of MCP servers that are there by defining the arguments here, and the code just stays the same. So to summarize at a very high level, get a list of consolidated tools and call the tools based on which server that tool belongs to, because that server has that functionality for that particular tool. That's a very basic idea here. Let's quickly go through the main file as well. It's like just a Streamlit file. In fact, I won't go into much detail, but yeah, like it's just a chat application here. In the sidebar, we have made input text areas where you can give input about STDIO server, SSE server. This finally goes through these params. It'll go through the ConnectionManager so that we can connect to those particular servers. So we are getting the maps here. We are also initializing messages in session state. So this is the system message that we are initializing the application with. And then we have this handle chat method here, which takes in ConnectionManager, gets the list of tools, and then calls chat method and yields the response. And yeah, this is like the chat input box of Streamlit. So we get the user's message, we append it to the session state messages. So session state messages keeps a track of all the messages that are there, and once we get this user message input, we start streaming responses. We start a connection at this point. So every single time user sends a message, we start this connection again. That is like a downside. Maybe this ConnectionManager can be moved somewhere up globally so that it makes a connection only once. But right now it connects every time we enter one single message. We start streaming the response. We get this response container, right? So this is where the assistant message is, and we keep putting the messages here, like from the assistant side, like whatever tool call messages and all that you see here, it keeps coming from the assistant side. So yeah, that's how the UI works. I don't want to spend too much time on the UI, but this is the file that you should be more focused on if you really want to understand how MCP client using different LLMs can be built. Hope you learned something. I'll see you in some next video. Thanks guys. Bye.